Convicted sex offenders are not allowed to move to Grand Rapids, at least for the next few months, while a moratorium is in place. After the city was notified that a level 3 sex offender would be moving to the area, conversation started as to where the individual should live. Since then, that man decided not to move to the city, but the council still wants a plan in place should the situation come up again. Our Jenny Day explains.
There currently aren't any level 3 sex offenders living in Grand Rapids.
A level 3 sex offender is an offender who's been labeled as most likely to reoffend.
But there are 36 level 1 and 2s, so the city's planning commission is currently drafting an ordinance that will have guidelines on where offenders can and cannot live.
It will have addressed the concerns of the citizens. It will address the concerns of the council. It will have taken the information from the state and the county into consideration, and that at the end of the day, all parties can sit down across the table and say, you know what? This is going to work for all of us.
After an offender's completed the Department of Corrections program and probation, the mayor doesn't see the need to ban offenders from living here altogether.
I'm not saying that the person, when they come out, doesn't deserve and need a place to stay. And I understand the statistics that less than 10% of sex offenders, once they come out, recommit a crime.
But he does feel his priority is to protect the citizens of Grand Rapids and maintain property values.
We have an obligation as a council to make sure that we're also looking out and trying to do the least negative impact on property taxes for our residents as well.
The city needs time to study the issue to find out how close sex offenders should be able to live next to schools, churches, and daycares.
Grand Rapids is basically about 6 miles square, so there's a lot of rural residential area that they would still be close enough to get the services that they would need in Grand Rapids and the guidance and to have the oversight over their activities, but it could be done in an area that is a little less populated from a density standpoint.
Chief Denny says there's already a recommendation the Planning Commission is looking at.
Restrictions of 1,000 feet from a bus stop, 2,000 feet from city parks, schools, 1,000 feet from churches, 2,000 feet from daycares, 1,000 feet from public facilities, and 2,000 feet from public parks.
So whether there are designated areas or perhaps a specific housing unit for high-risk offenders, a plan should be in place by August. Jenny Day, Lakeland News.
And once in place, the ordinance will not affect sex offenders already living in the city. They will be grandfathered in.